live here on a very special right now. A special is the only way to describe this because I'm very excited. We've been celebrating the Punk Rock Museum all year in its first year, and it's finally time for the first anniversary party. So many incredible things, and I couldn't be more honored to be on the phone or on the Zoom or whatever you want to call this with 4 of the 5 founding members of the Punk Rock Museum. So go around, introduce yourselves, and tell everyone what you do, and outside of the Punk Rock Museum too, and inside the Punk Rock Museum.
I'm not going first.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. My name is Lisa Brownlee, and I am a founding member of the Punk Rock Museum. And inside and outside of the Punk Rock Museum, I live a punk rock lifestyle. So that is what I do and who I am.
My name is Fat Mike. I'm one of the founding members of the Punk Rock Museum. You may know me from punk rock and Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. When I'm in the Punk Rock Museum, I try to steal things from the Punk Rock Museum, but Mona stops me.
Yeah. I'm Mona Wetzel. I am the collections manager at the museum, which means I try to get all the cool, rad stuff from bands and help facilitate it going up in the exhibits. And yeah, I moved to Las Vegas to support the museum.
Like a maniac.
I'm Melanie Kay, and I'm one of the founding members of this amazing punk rock museum that I'm so proud to be part of. And my mom calls it my heart's work, and I think that's the best way to describe.
It must be nice to have a mom.
Yeah. Well,
I also play in a band called the Co-Defendants.
Yes, there's that.
The Co-Defendants.
Amazing.
I don't play in Fuck Shit Bliss. I don't know why this is here.
It's an honor to be on with all of you guys, and it's so cool to see you guys put the Punk Rock Museum together because spent many summers with Lisa and Mona on Warped Tour, which was awesome, and seeing them on Sad Summer the first year I went there when I was DJing was just so cool to see you guys still involved with a summer tour like that, and just brought a big smile to my face. And then also got to work with Melanie over the years with incredible bands, and then Fat Mike, the legend himself, the last memory of Warped Tour, the last band to play. And then now you're opening the Punk Rock Museum. It's like you closed the chapter and then opened the chapter at the same time, which was very cool.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, so talk about how this all came about. Were you guys planning this for a handful of years before it actually came to be? Or was it just like simultaneously all you guys were like, let's make this happen?
Lisa,
okay. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of Mike hit me up during, I guess it was pretty much after pandemic, and he wanted to do something in Las Vegas, open up a punk record store, kind of like a punk record store, really. I wanted to call it Max and Lisa.
Yeah,
a punk store with records, punk stuff in a store.
Yeah.
And he wanted to call it Max and Lisa's because Max, my old boyfriend from Swingin' Utters, he just thought Max and Lisa's cool plan. He ran that by me, and after working years of retail, I had no desire to be part of anything store. And it just turns out that at that same time, all these different folks that I've been talking to, bands, were going through their parents' basements and through their storage and killing time while we weren't all on tour. And everybody was going through all their old shit. So, and I've been talking to a bunch of these bands, Descendants, Bouncing Souls, and we realized, and then I just kind of came back to Mike and said, what if we put more iconic stuff, make it a museum, punk rock museum? So that's kind of where it was born.
Yeah. My answer was going to be 2 years.
Damn.
2 years before we opened.
2 years.
I actually had I had a Vegas punk house about 10 years ago, and I had something called the Paltry Punk Rock Museum. And I had a big cabinet, and I had a few things that we carry in our punk rock museum right now. I had the Less Than Jake, the big Pez dispenser, and I had the flipper can of tuna.
Yes. Where is that thing?
It's in the Bay Area case, of course.
It's in the case. I had a big pile of earwax I had taken out of my ears. That's not in the museum. No.
It's
OSHA
strictly under
reasons.
desks in the museum, right?
No, it is. It actually is in the museum, just no one knows where it is.
That's awesome. And just being there's been so many years of punk rock at this point, how did you guys like come to be of what era of punk rock and the mission you wanted to go forth with the image of the Punk Rock Museum to represent that era of punk rock? Because you guys do a really good job of encapsulating a handful of different eras.
Handful, all of them.
5 decades.
All of it.
Six
Decades.
six decades of punk rock.
Well, 6.
70s, 80s, 90s, and the other things I don't like to pronounce.
We're going to take you back to the 60s soon.
Ooh. So I guess a better question is, which era do you focus on and really feature? Because going through the Punk Rock Museum during When We Were Young weekend, I did see all the different eras of it, which was very cool to see. But yeah, when you were starting it, obviously there's a lot to think about in a lot of bands and a lot of moments. So what was like the most driving inspirational moment that was like, we need a museum for punk rock right now?
I don't think that was the case. I think we put in what we could get our hands on.
Ooh.
Yeah. We reached out to bands, directly. And a lot of people say, oh, you're missing this, you're missing that. But honestly, it's people gave us what they, it was the contributors that gave us things that sort of, that's what, what we have in the museum right now. The tide turned once we opened, and now more people see the proof of concept. They visited the museum, and now, the people that were wait and see, now they want to be a part of the museum.
Yeah,
What happened is
ever evolving.
Yeah, it's always evolving. We ended up, most of our stuff is from the late 70s and 80s in punk rock, with some stuff from the 90s, and that's only because we got a lot of our stuff from collectors, and no one's out there collecting stuff from 2013. They're collecting stuff from the old days. So that's why we have so much of that stuff. And because calling every band we want in the museum, we've tried doing that, and bands are flaky. Collectors already have a bunch of stuff.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Were there any surprises on the first round of stuff you guys were able to get for the museum where you're like, oh shit, I can't believe we got our hands on this?
Yeah, Joe Strummer's last bag of weed.
Dab.
Captain Sensible's last bag of Coke. Unfortunately, we lost that somewhere.
No idea where that would have ended up in Las Vegas.
It smelled so good.
So smell the history.
So we're going to take a little break right now before we get into more about the 1-year party here at the Punk Rock Museum, which I'm very excited for. It's coming up on the weekend. It's March 28th. It kicks off, or 29th?
29th first.
The 29th, yeah, with an opening of a photography show called My Shot.
Amazing. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit when we get back here with 4 of the 5 founding members of the Punk Rock Museum. So what song do you guys want me to play before we get into a little bit of a commercial break?
I'm thinking Destroy the Handicapped.
We're back here on Idobi Radio. We're sitting here with Lisa, Mona, Melanie, and Mike from the Punk Rock Museum. We're talking all about the first year of the museum and the incredible first anniversary kickoff, first anniversary party weekend that we're kicking off here on Idobi Radio. It's officially kicking off on the 29th. And guys, I want to talk to you about this because there are so many iconic images in the Punk Rock Museum. I might be a little bit biased. My favorite one is a giant wall of Chuck from Simple Plan, but so many incredible images. So talk about what's going to be happening with this one, with the photography exhibit to kick off the weekend.
I think all 4 of us can agree that the Chuck photo is the best photo in the museum, right?
Canada, go Canada.
Yeah.
No, you want to talk about the photo?
Yeah. So we've got, I'm just looking to get the list. It's 6 photographers that are going to be featured. And let me see. We've got,
Do we have any color film, or is it all black and whites? So sick of black and whites.
I think it's a mixture, as far as I know. Yeah, let's see here.
Oh.
Trying to find. We've got Alison.
Melanie, you're supposed to be the one that's prepared for this.
Right. So this is why I stay behind the scenes. So we've got Alison Braun and Marla Watson. There's
Name someone that people have heard of.
I thought I just
Annie Leibovitz. We got anything by her?
Not this time, Mike.
Maplethorpe.
Robert Mapplethorpe. That's where I was going. That's exactly where I was going.
So it's a mixture highlighting 6 women photographers, and they're going to be doing a show. We're going to do an opening to kick off our anniversary weekend on the 29th. And most of them, if not all of them, will be there for this. And then, of course, on the weekend, we've also got our big outdoor show in the parking lot with the Vandals headlining. So, yeah, there's lots. And I suppose we can talk about what's happening on April 1st in terms of the proclamation from the city. Mike?
Yes. Yes, we got a punk rock proc from the city of Las Vegas. We're going to have April 1st is now officially Punk Rock Day.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only reaction I had for that. That's fucking sick. That's so cool.
It's pretty huge.
So
awesome.
all the casinos will be giving out free mohawks all day long. There'll be a toga party at Caesar's Palace.
It's going to be wild.
And at the Sahara, there'll be a sand throwing fight. All in the name of Punk Rock Day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I guess I have to make my way out for Punk Rock Day.
Definitely.
Okay. I'll save you a cup full of sand.
Please save me a cup full of sand and a seat to get a mohawk. I really need a mohawk at this point. It's the only hairstyle I think I haven't done.
Really? You've ever done the Bozo the Clown? That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, all through Catholic school, that's the haircut I had to get was Bozo the Clown.
Yeah.
So now with you guys being the iconic founding members of the Punk Rock Museum and being able to give tours of the museum, have you guys learned more about the punk rock culture since starting it, or learned more from the people coming by and talking about other events that you guys might not have highlighted in the museum just yet?
Somehow I've learned less.
I have. I think I've followed along on a lot of the guided tours, which feature members of punk bands, maybe your favorite punk band, and I always learn something when I go on those tours. Listen
I do
to
too.
Ramon or Alice Bag or people like that, which to me are legends. Talk about their personal experiences as a unique thing that only happens at the Punk Rock Museum.
And I think the guides learn stuff too, because most of the guides we get are a little bit from the earlier side of punk, and then they go upstairs and are like, what the hell is this? I never heard of this band. So they're getting educated as well, because people bring their kids, and their kids are like, Warped Tour age. So when you go upstairs, which is 2000s and above for the most part, along with other very cool things in the museum, parents are learning things from their kids, because they'll hear about a band from the Warped Tour era bands that they never heard of. So I think guides are learning a lot too, not just us learning from the guides. They're learning a bunch of opening up their mind to other music than what happened in the 70s.
Mona, I think between me and you, we know more stuff about the artifacts than anyone. And we should probably film that. We should probably walk through and talk about everything we know.
Yeah, golden guided tour. Golden ticket.
Amazing. That could be the first VR tour of the Punk Rock Museum.
Yeah.
So now with the museum's 1-year anniversary party, I saw how excited everyone was to come during When We Were Young weekend, and I feel like that's just kind of a diet version of what's about to happen.
Oh, I don't know what you mean. Who knows what he means?
Like When We Were Young was just so When We Were Young weekend, I got to see how excited everyone was to be at the Punk Rock Museum. Obviously, it was everyone coming to town, and I feel like that might just be like a smaller or diet version of what's about to happen with this 1-year party all weekend long and Punk Rock Day happening on April 1st.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Vegas is on the map. Vegas is now a destination for music and festivals and cool shit that's going on. Whereas before, it was kind of an afterthought. I think for all the years of doing touring myself and festivals, but I think now Vegas is a huge destination for festivals, and all those people obviously want to come check out the Punk Rock Museum. So now that we're gonna have official Punk Rock Day from now going forward. April is, we better call the hotels and let them know they're going to be jammed up for Punk Rock Day.
yeah. I don't know about that. You might have 500 people there when there were 80,000 when we were young. So that's why I didn't understand the question so much. Unless this is a seafood diet type thing,
Coming from fish, right?
Well, not fish, like when I see food, I eat it. Seafood.
Yeah.
So, I just realized that you only have my side view, and I'm the only one that has my front view and actually see me laughing and smiling, which I've been doing and muting myself while laughing sometimes. So
No, we
I
can
just
see your bald
realized-
spot though. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it is coming out real bad, especially with the headphones fucking with my hair as well. So it's a very flattering angle you guys have of me right now. I just realized that in the wrong screen. But either way, so with
You know what? I hadn't noticed that, but how awkward.
oh, it is very awkward actually. Now that I realize you've been staring at my bald spot for about 18 minutes now.
but who's keeping track of the time?
Yeah, exactly. All I know is at least Lisa and Mona knew me when I was young and had a full head of hair. That's all that matters.
It's true.
Yeah, long time.
Very long time. So the private party on Saturday the 30th, it's a little bit of a late night one, and you guys have the Punk Tribute Authority playing as well. Who's in that band, and what could people expect that night?
They're
If we
playing
told you, we
Misfits
might have to
songs.
tell you.
Ooh, I like that. It's going to be a
We
nice
like to
surprise.
call them the PTA.
Ooh, the PTA.
Yeah, it's got a better ring to it.
Yeah. So, are they going to be doing covers? Or are they doing originals? What can we expect?
They're doing original Misfit songs. That's what they're doing.
Ooh.
No, they're supposed to be doing Misfit songs karaoke so people can sing along.
Oh, that's awesome.
And next time they play, they're going to pick another band. So it's like a tribute band, but it's / karaoke.
That's going to be so much fun. Are you guys doing that in the Pennywise room?
No, we'll be
No.
doing that in the living room.
Ooh.
Yeah, so people can, do stage dives onto the couch, have pillow fights, break shit.
Slam dance. Climb the pole.
All that punk stuff.
Oh, yeah. We have a pole that people like to do pole dances on. Unfortunately,
Yeah, pole.
it's a telephone pole, so it gets quite splintery.
I mean, there's nothing more punk than trying to pole dance on a wooden pole.
No.
No, it's true. It's very punk. It gets bloody, lots of calluses, but shows who the real punk rockers are.
Character building, we used to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And now I assume the bar is going to be slammed as always at the Punk Rock Museum. And I mean, I think one of the coolest things was the tribute to Fletcher with the drink, the Fletcher. Are you guys going to be having any special edition drinks or specials going on for this week, for the weekend?
We're thinking of having the Felcher instead of the Fletcher. Same kind of idea, but
Grosser.
it's with Yoo-hoo.
We're still trying to we still want to get a drink called Mommy's Coffee that's like a booze, a Yoo-hoo. That is Mommy's Coffee with Yoo-hoo.
Oh.
That sounds
Let's do it.
just.
Ew, it's more like it.
I'm just picturing the saltiness with the Yoo-hoo. Oh god. Ew.
Oh boy.
I'd probably drink it either way, but so are you guys expecting any special guests to come in for the weekend to be tour guides and stuff too?
Well, on April 1st, we have KJ Jansen from Chicks Dig It coming.
Woo!
A tour guide and play some songs. And we've got quite a guest list developing of people that have RSVP'd and will be in town for all the festivities. So it's one of those, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, and Joe
That-
from the Vandals is gonna be. I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, Vandals are playing on Sunday. And
Yeah.
how much more punk can you get than having a punk anniversary show on Easter in the parking lot? That's pretty punk.
Ooh.
You have
Are we
people
laying
dressed up in
eggs?
bunny costumes, all sorts of stuff.
Easter
Egg
is kind of
hunting,
a
bring
holiday.
eggs.
It's kind of like a
We're
zombie
gonna have we're
day.
gonna have bonus eggs.
Resurrection shit.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that's the only Easter celebration that's worth going to from what I hear going on Easter this year.
Actually, I just came up with something. I think on our party night we should do a Easter egg hunt and hide Easter eggs all around the museum with prizes inside. Have everybody searching everywhere through the museum for
But
eggs.
where would we hide them? Everything's locked up.
Oh, I got places.
With the earwax.
Yeah. Your prize is Mike's earwax inside of his eggs.
It's a paperweight.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Oh God. But either way, we should take a little bit of a commercial break here with the Punk Rock Museum. So I want to play another song of your guys' choice. So what song should I play for everyone?
I'm gonna go London Dungeon, Misfits.
We are back here with the Punk Rock Museum on Idobi Radio. We're here with Lisa, Mona, Melanie, and Mike. Absolute honor to be here. I don't think I introduced myself. I've been Fish. I've been the one yapping and talking about how awkward my camera angle is. But either way, very excited to be here to talk about the Punk Rock Museum's first anniversary party. Incredible weekend that's ahead. Punk Rock Day in Las Vegas. And guys, Sum 41 just dropped a music video filmed in the Punk Rock Museum. How did that come to be?
Oh.
How did that come to be?
I think it was Chuck from Simple Plan that set that up. All the
That's awesome.
Canadian punk bands don't know each other.
You know what it is? It's Dave's come and he's been a tour guide, and Colin has come, and they all love the museum. So I think that the answer is that it came from them. It was their idea. That's where they.
Yeah, we did a party for them too.
Yeah.
Remember, like a while
Yeah.
back, we did a Sum 41 party at the museum for a
Yes.
record release, and it just they love it. And we got some.
Yeah.
We have some Vegas locals.
Derek
Yeah, they
was
played
one of the
some
first
songs.
investors, and Derek lives in Las Vegas. We hang out.
So we're friends.
So yeah, he likes it there.
That's awesome.
Kid's got a nice
And-
house, let me tell you.
I could imagine. And with the Punk Rock Museum, obviously the word museum comes to mind. And every time I hear the word museum, I think, okay, cool. This is a quiet place. This is where you just go read the thing. It's not the case at the Punk Rock Museum. Talk about how you guys are bringing liveliness to a museum, and it's not a traditional museum. And I personally have never seen anything like this before. You could correct me if you guys have, but I have never seen a museum that is this interactive and this fun.
Hell no.
I have to
And you
agree with you,
won't.
Bob.
I concur, Doctor.
Yes,
Thanks.
I believe you shot the fish right out of the water with that one.
Like in a barrel or
starting
something.
with the fact that we have a bar and a tattoo parlor,
Wedding
I don't-
chapel.
the wedding chapel, but also I think the favorite spot in the museum for a lot of people is the jam room, where you go in and play, Mike's bass, like anybody else's guitars. Like it's a magical place, and it's loud.
Yep.
And it's based
And I
around
gotta-
punk music, so it's naturally going to be loud. We had Fred Armisen come and be a tour guide, and what he really wanted to do was play and do a couple songs, sing a couple songs in our bar, and that was what he was really interested in. And
Yeah, a couple songs, more like 30.
yeah, but this is why
That's
it's that's the root of it, is the music.
Well, I don't. It's not particularly loud. I mean, we have a saying at the museum that if it's too loud, turn it down, and that's worked for a long time.
If it's too loud, shut the jam room door.
Yeah.
Well, we have another saying that punk rock
You
museum.
can't say people are too old here because you're going to lose
Never
half the people there.
And I gotta hand it to Mike for the leather jacket wall, because all those leather jackets are not under glass, and we kind of say the phrase, smell the history, right? Like what smells worse than a punk leather jacket? Not much, right? So you walk through and it's an olfactory. It's an experience in every way. It's tangible.
Did you say it's an olfactory?
It's an old factory. Old factory.
It's an old factory experience.
It's tactile. It's all the senses.
That's awesome. And also, this question is mostly for Mike because I've heard stories throughout the years. Are there any bands that are in the museum that you're like, how did these guys end up in here?
Me?
Yeah, if they're younger bands.
I'm the one that wanted the place to be as inclusive as possible.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was, and people are like, Good Charlotte, you putting them in? I go, yeah, Good Charlotte gets to be in here. They started like a punk band and they still look punk, and I mean, they married well. But anyone who was in a punk band, it's not up for us to decide.
I love that.
Well, it is.
Well, I mean,
What kind of?
yeah,
It's our punk rock elite.
yeah. I mean, we're not the metal museum, although we have Crossover Corner and Lemmy is, of course, in there because he transcends. Yeah, but like if James Hetfield died, we wouldn't put his fucking shit in our museum.
Well, James Hetfield wasn't on the Young Ones either, so
He's also never going to die unless he's dead already. Is he?
Well, his soul died a long time ago.
that's for sure.
Sorry, James. No disrespect.
But I mean,
man.
Jason was not Jason. Cliff, I love Cliff Burton, but I don't think it'd be proper to put a Metallica member, especially Dave Mustaine. Oh, wow.
But Mike, before we opened, you would talk about if a band played a show and they had a flyer, that flyer needs to be in the museum, and that
I didn't quite put it like that. What I said is any band that was in a punk band that played a show, they deserve to be somewhere in the museum. Right. You don't have to. When I was talking to Pat Smear about what do you have to do to get inducted into the museum, and first of all, we laughed because there's no induction.
There's no induction.
But you have to have recorded a song or played a show with a cool flyer, because I want people from anywhere in the world to come to the museum and have a chance of seeing their band on the wall. Most likely in the room of unknown and insignificant bands, but still, we invite everyone in there.
That's awesome. That's really cool to see, because I know there's probably younger bands that are so hyped to know that they're able to be in the punk rock museum, especially after looking up to everyone that's in that museum. Like myself, going through it, I was like, why is my DJ board with this legendary stuff right now? I don't belong here. I just play Shania Twain at midnight and get people dancing.
Is your DJ board there?
Well, don't make us take it out now.
Must be a mistake. Must be a mistake. Must be an oversight.
Yeah. There is a flyer with me on it, so I did meet the requirement. So that's all that matters. I wish I was able to find my the last Warped Tour one where we wrote down basically my receipt on a napkin talking about my DJing for the last Warped Tour in Cleveland. That was an experience. I got to find that in my apartment. Hopefully that can make it to the Punk Rock Museum as well.
Yep.
It's not going to make it. Fuck.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
You can see my expressions. So I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, we got your full face instead of just the back of your head like me. So we're good. So now with the Jam Room, I'm sure that has brought so much talent to the Punk Rock Museum and people just playing these incredible instruments. Has there been any standout moments of people just jamming, and it might be old band members or old friends, and it's just like bringing back memories of like old days of jamming with them?
I'll tell a story that happened recently, which was amazing. There was a girl that could barely play guitar, and Rob Ruckus taught her how to play a Ramones song, and she could actually play that because they're so easy. So she's playing this Ramones song, and just so happened that CJ Ramone was in the museum that day, and he came into the room and heard her playing that, and then picked up his bass and started playing the Ramones song with her. And her parents started crying.
That's so cool.
That's the kind of thing that happens at the Punk Rock Museum.
There's a lot of
Or
crying.
the time where someone picked up my bass and dropped it and broke it. Yeah, that happens too.
That was crying for a different reason.
There was more crying.
No.
We fixed it.
We fixed it. You know what? And it plays like it used to play a lot better. But we did fix it, and it still plays.
That's all that matters, that it still plays.
That's right.
Amazing.
That's not to
So
say anybody else's anything will ever get broken if you decide to loan it to us and put it in the jam room. Just putting that out there.
That is a fair assumption. Now, with the anniversary party, we haven't talked about how people can get to the anniversary party. Is it an RSVP? Do you buy tickets? How is this all working? Where can people go to buy tickets to attend this incredible weekend, or I should say historic weekend in the making?
I think you can get tickets at the store.
Yeah, online.
You just buy them online.
At our
you
website.
do it at the store. You buy it online. That Sunday, I got to say, the Sunday show, we're running super low on tickets. Like I imagine by this weekend there will be no more tickets left for that show. If anybody's interested, you gotta act fast because that's almost sold out.
Or if you want, or if it does sell out, you can call me and I'll get you some tickets for 4 times the price.
Yep.
The best deal in Las Vegas.
I got a guest list.
So have you guys seen like a kind of people who wouldn't be into punk rock coming into the museum just out of curiosity, and you kind of see them leaving as a fan of
Oh, this is just out of curiosity. Yeah, there's a lot of you're not trying to muscle in on our business, are you? Okay.
Nope.
Just curious. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of old people that come that aren't just old punk rockers. Just, old people like museums. They figure they're safe there. They can get some exercise in. But that's why we moved to Vegas, because we get a lot of tourists that just lost their money. So a lot of broke and upset people with nothing to lose. We see a lot of them in the museum.
And you see
Unhappy
families coming.
people.
You see
Newlywed.
families coming, and the parents show the kids around the first floor, and then they all go upstairs, and the kids are showing the parents around the second floor. So it's, a nice family experience.
That's awesome. That's really cool to hear, because I like using Warped Tour as an example because I feel like it's just such a staple in the punk rock world and just everyone knows it. But it's like getting to have my mom drop me off at Warped Tour all those years and then take her to the last few Warped Tours when I was on the tour. Just a cool full circle moment I feel like everyone needs to experience in some capacity. And I feel like the Punk Rock Museum is making that happen.
Although we do have a policy that children are allowed at the museum, but not welcomed.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I can't.
The Warped Tour had no such policy.
It was a reverse daycare there.
Yep.
Yeah, parents were allowed but not welcomed.
Amazing.
And I would like to say that we take care of locals in Vegas. That's the one thing I think the locals support us for, is because we make sure that the locals are taken care of. They get a better ticket price. They get all bonuses for being local. So because we're glad to be part of that community, and we're glad that we're accepted into the.
We just made a new policy that locals get in free now on first Sunday of every month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And I love it. You guys are literally building a community inside of a community. The local community inside the giant community. I was trying to get something out. I don't know if it made sense. But I did.
It does.
Let's go with yes.
Perfect. So now the weekend is going to be the 1-year anniversary party, which is going to be absolutely legendary. History in the making. You guys are doing something incredible for not only the punk rock community, but in my opinion, for the world and for museums in general. So what's the plan to keep going the rest of the year? How are you going to one-up this party and keep the party going throughout the year celebrating?
Well, it's not going to be hard to one-up this party because it's not going to be that awesome. It's going to be fun. But it's just a party, April Fool's party. So I think, just getting a band better than the Vandals, that will one-up it. We could one-up it in a lot of ways, getting better bands, shoving more people in there, maybe some better tour guides than KJ. So yeah, I think we have a lot of room for improvement.
Gotcha. So any more special
Stumps the
events?
panel. Mike once again stumps the panel. He's like, another microphone drop.
Plenty of room for improvement.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's very hard to leave me speechless and not be able to transition, but you did it at least 5 times today
Yeah.
so far. So any more announced special events happening at the Punk Rock Museum in the near future, or just the 1-year party and then just kind of back to everyday operations?
We have the Offspring Takeover happening on the weekend of April 13th in celebration of the 30th anniversary of Smash. So we're all really excited about that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something. Like I said, anytime that there's a big music festival in Vegas, expect something exciting happening at the museum as well. There's always going to be programming. There's always going to be great guides. There's always going to be something going on. We don't, it's
There's
not
surprises too.
There's always surprises. So we don't exist if we don't create cool stuff around the museum. So the museum itself standalone is pretty badass, but the stuff that happens inside and around the museum is equally as cool. So that the birthday is fantastic, but it's just the beginning of a whole huge summer lineup of really cool things scheduled.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what you guys have planned. And now, how can everyone keep up with you guys personally and the Punk Rock Museum?
Well, personally, my phone number is. Call me anytime. I'll update you with what I'm doing that day. But if you want to keep up with the museum, you should go to Instagram. If you look up the Punk Rock Museum, we have new
website.
postings every day.
Like, follow, subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Like, follow, subscribe. And I've reached my quota for stalkers, so I'm not going to be taking any more follows. Thank you. Just kidding.
And I only have 4 right now. I'm always looking for more.
Amazing. And I can't wait to be back at the Punk Rock Museum, hang out with you guys, hopefully drink a Fletcher with all of you guys again, because that was a very big highlight of my weekend last time I was there. And yeah, this is going to be an incredible 1-year party for the Punk Rock Museum, celebrating something that is probably the most important thing to happen in punk rock culture since the start of punk rock culture.
Since what?
The start of punk rock culture.
Oh. No, you can come with something better than that.
Yeah. All right, take 2.
Since
something incredible happening since
I'm gonna recommend you get
Jim Neighbor's daughter fell off the balcony at the adolescent show and broke her hip.
Ouch. That sounds very
Rich, I'm going to recommend you get the fatty this time around. If you already have Fletcher, get the fatty, because the very first day that we opened, we all started with the fatty, named after Fat Mike, of course. And I was hammered for the rest of the day. So you think the Fletcher should go and try the fatty.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What's in the fatty?
It's a double vodka soda with a
it's liquid death.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's double shot of Tito's, the liquid death, and then is it Jameson's on the side?
Yeah.
It's not on the side, it's a chaser.
A chaser.
That was a chaser.
Yeah.
Yes,
literally
you're Canadian. She calls it a side. She calls it a side. Side. That's a chaser.
And you also get a gummer.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, I've been cheated all these times. I've never got one.
Me too.
That's only if you tip right.
Oh.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much for taking time to hop on Idobi Radio to talk about the Punk Rock Museum. You guys have done something that is so incredible. So many people are talking about it, and I can't wait to be out there. I can't wait for more people to be out there and see what you guys have planned, because I think the most important part of punk rock is keeping the culture alive, and you guys are doing that and bringing it to a whole new level.
Are we going to see you there?
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to be on the internet.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I'm going to do my best to make it out. I'm actually in Vegas the weekend before for a bachelor
Awesome.
party. So, yeah, so I'll definitely be stopping by.
You'll
during
get the
that
party
weekend.
started.
Oh,
Exactly.
we have good bachelor parties if you want to drop by the museum. We do a special blackout tour where we turn off all the power and push you guys into the first room and see what happens.
The punk rock escape room.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't forget the
Oh, yeah.
pole dancing. See you soon.
Yeah,
Amazing.
great pole dancing. Ouch.
So, everyone, be sure to be at the Punk Rock Museum on March 29th for the start of the weekend, and then April 1st, obviously being Punk Rock Day in Las Vegas, which is going to be absolutely incredible. It's the first one, which means there's going to be more. The first annual means implies there's going to be more, right?
Not
correct.
in some circles, apparently.
Amazing. Well, guys, I can't thank you again. I can't thank you enough for everything you're doing for the culture. Like I said, I want to play one more song that would represent the Punk Rock Museum to take us out right now. So what song do you want that to be?
Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. That's a pretty good song.
No, how about Suburban Lawns, My Janitor?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Amazing.
Janitor.
Here's Suburban Lawns with Janitor here on Idobi Radio. Thank you again to Lisa, Mona, Melanie, and Mike for hopping on. It's a Punk Rock Museum. We missed Vinny. Vinny, you are in our hearts, and I can't wait to hang out with you again.
Forever.
Always.
Bye, y'all. I got nothing.
My janitor. My janitor.